Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for April 1st to April 8th. Happy Fool's Day. I know I've heard from some of you that we're all feeling it, I think, the tension levels on the planet. And hopefully we will find a way through. Maybe not hopefully, intentionally, personally, we can find a clearing in our lives for peace. Looking forward to what the cards have to say to us this week. So, without further ado, please close your eyes, take 3 nice deep breaths, and join me here. Knowing that wherever you are in time and space, you are most welcome, and that you are part of this reading. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with your children, and we are about to do a reading for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we most need to receive right now, and to provide that to everyone in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be here, present, facilitating our exchange and ensure that it happens in the best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and collective highest and greatest good at this time, to our satisfaction in this window that we have together today. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of transformation, of empowerment and peace. Thank you, Raphael, for holding the east, Michael for holding the south, Gabriel for holding the west, and Uriel for holding the north. We are grateful you are here. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions of light, love, wisdom, healing, and transformation is welcome to go now. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay. Creator, what do we need to know personally and collectively for the coming week so that we can thrive, so that we can be who we're here to be and do it well, and learn to build new futures for ourselves? The outworn models really need an overhaul, and we are the ones who will architect the future. So what do we need to know, Creator, so that we can do that in a good way? For our good, the good of our loved ones, the good of all life on this beautiful planet, and the planet herself, that we may be wise and helpful. Okay. Recent past, the influence is waning. Continues into your present, into the future, is the card of death. The death card is a card of radical transformation, of endings of things being complete and done. It's also about new growth, new opportunities, rising up, becoming more than we were. Because of that finality, there's a clarity and a wisdom and an ability to stand clear and face the future, however unknown, in powerful ways. This is sitting in the recent past, which means this energy is continuing into our present, into our future. It's part of what is pushing us forward at this time. And, symbolically, the death of the old is really pushing us. And it continues to roll around in its death throes. And we're building something new. There's so much desire on this planet. Our collective wanting and desiring is pulling beautiful, magnificent futures towards us. We need just to remember that when we're feeling overwhelmed and like nothing is ever going to change. And I'm talking to myself here, because that's how I've been feeling too. So this energy of death, a freedom from what was, and the capacity to live powerfully into a glorious new future that we're all part of co-creating. The present card, the lovely card of generosity, the 6 of Pentacles. And this is this wonderful card of flowing energy. So she's actually holding an M4. It's kind of hard to make out on this card, and because my focus isn't, earth-shattering or anything. So we have this M4 of water that she's holding, and there's sort of this circle of energy coming out of the M4 and circling back up into it. So this energy of life-giving, of flowing outward. We had the Wheel of Fortune last week, and that's that energy of So, as you sow, so shall you reap, this flow of life force. But the card of generosity reminds us that that force, that life force, needs to happen in a way that is not about expectation in return. We're generous with who we are and our resources and our abilities and our energy in appropriate ways, never to the point where you destroy yourself, of course, but we flow our energies in appropriate ways, not with the thought of what we can get. It's never about that. But understanding that we are each here to give our gifts beautifully and magnificently. And when we flow our gifts into the world, that's an incredible cycle and circle of reciprocity that happens. And all life changes. I was just having a conversation with somebody today about that energy of giving rather than just taking. And the taking is part of what's dying, that what's in it for me? How do I get something out of it before other people step on me? This idea of having to trample on the other, on the land, on the earth, and all living creatures in order to get what we need. That's all the old. We're moving into this energy of reciprocity, of kindness, of mutual support and benefit and well-being. The win-win-win, in other words. That's the energy that we're in. And so the energy of a present is very much about calling us to show up in the world. And again, this doesn't have to be anything radical or out there. You don't have to go and take on the whole world. You're by yourself. That's not what this is about. This is about who are you and how can you show up as more you today? How can you move through the world being who you are from a beautiful, aligned, congruent space, sharing what's appropriate to share and giving of yourself in the world. And that may be holding a door for somebody, smiling at somebody, holding space for someone else so that they can find their way back to their center and their peace. These are important things that we can do for each other. Really seeing each other, really hearing each other, being that clearing for more peace and love on the planet in our direct one-to-one interactions. Never underestimate the impact that that can have. Perhaps you are called to be one of the big ones on the planet. So it be it. Fill your boots. Away you go. I'm proud of you. And if you're not that person and you're here to live a smaller life, that is equally powerful, equally important, because that's how we create that amazing field of life and love everywhere, is through this energy in our present. Okay, your future. The Chariot. Fast forward momentum. Yeah, so I don't think anybody disputes that. I mean, the energy thing just seems, it's like, wait 5 minutes, everything changes. So just getting comfortable with this fast forward momentum, just getting comfortable with the fact that we are living in time of dramatic change, but remembering that we have a hand in how that change is going to go. We get to play a part. Even if we're not on the world stage, we get to play a part in transforming consciousness, in transforming how this is going to go. How can you show up in a way that honors all life and this planet and yourself in the process? That will be very, very powerful. And this is the card of the Chariot, is also about the energy of will. It's about the energy of us. We willed powerfully to come into this form, and we continue to have very strong will to hold it all together. We don't understand that necessarily in our human levels, but we are very, very powerful beings holding a lot of energy. And we have the capacity to harness that attention, will, focus, what we want, and move life powerfully forward very quickly. We just need to leverage that, understand it. But it starts with the space of generosity and allowing ourselves to be done with what was. To no longer hold on to it and let it impede our path forward. It's okay to grieve this too. That's an important part of dying and the releasing of the old. But that release clears the way for this beautiful flow of life force and energy and generosity, reciprocity with life. And as a result of that, we move powerfully forward in good ways, personally and collectively. And we have another major arcana. So this week we have 4 major arcanas in the reading, which is usually an indicator that, big energy, which I don't think anybody would dispute. So the Hermit. Number 9, key 9. So the Hermit, it's interesting because it ties into this energy of generosity. The Hermit lights the way. He has a lantern and he's at the top of the mountain. He, she, I think it has a beard, so I guess it's a he. The Hermit's at the top of the mountain, lighting the path for those who come behind. Our life experience has brought us to where we are. We have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of ability to share. Wherever you are in the journey, you do. And so our willingness, our generosity of spirit to share who we are and what we have is very, very helpful in the world. Again, lighting that lamp of kindness and shining it brightly into the world to light the way through the darkness that we're all wandering through right now. That's okay. It's a wonderful thing. If you're doing it, thank you. We so need you on the planet right now. And just remembering that that's important for us. And we may feel like we're all alone, but I have a suspicion that we are a lot closer in our desires and our wantings than we maybe have been led to believe. There's a lot of benefit, I think, in playing people off of each other to keep them unstable and needy and insecure and at the effect of things rather than empowered and strong and healthy and vital and supportive. We can be so powerfully generous when we're in a good place. I know you all know what I mean, that there have been times in your life when you've been on top of things, feeling good, feeling strong, and as a result, you've been able to be there in an amazing way for somebody else. That's the quality that I'm talking about. And the Hermit is the foundation. That's why we're having the reading this week, is this energy of the Hermit in number 9. So this is about us standing in our wisdom, being congruent, being aligned. The Hermit has chosen a life apart so that they are clear from the distractions of the world. They're not watching the news. They're not watching distracting things. They're not allowing themselves to be pulled off their center. The Hermit is very much about being very disciplined and intentional about being on one center and living authentically from that congruence out into the world. And as a result, being able to shine light from the paths of others. We really need to be intentional and mindful and practiced in this. We're all being called to it right now. So, the Hermit, this is our foundation card. This is why we're having the reading this week, is this energy of being strong in the self, being congruent in the self, being aligned with the broader, wiser part of us, and allowing ourselves to live in that very solid, grounded space in the world, lighting the world with our generosity and our light and our love, and holding peace, holding that space of kindness, which is so beautiful. And we're seeing signs of it all over. If you look, you'll find it. It's a very important thing that we need to remember, is that where we put our attention is what we're going to see. So if you're looking for things to feel bad about, or looking for things to feel all worked up about and anxious about, you'll find them. If you're looking for things to feel peaceful about, grateful about, appreciative of, you will find them as well. We get to choose. That's the most amazing thing about being human in a form right now, is that's our prerogative. That's why we're here, is choosing. That choice point is in every moment. And so the more we can be in this present space and mindful of what we're doing with our thoughts, our attention, and our choice, the results can be tremendously powerful, as we see with this card. Radical, quick change in powerful new directions when we harness our will, our attention, our focus, our choice, and align it with what it is that we want to create in the world. I think those are pretty clear for this week, okay? So let's pull our card to grow on. Thank you to the cards. Thank you to all those holding the space. It's a good message. It's coming back to us, holding our power, holding our knowledge, holding our wisdom, allowing ourselves to be congruent, unplugging from the things that don't make us congruent. That's powerful too. You know, we may be blaming corporations, but if we're funding them with our dollars and our attention, they continue to exist. So how do we manage that? How do we navigate that? I don't know. I'm working it out just like you guys are. If you have ideas, share them below. Okay, so card to grow on. What is it that we need to know, Creator? What can we carry with us in our hearts this week so that we remember to be like the Hermit? We remember to flow our energies beautifully into the world so that we can create magnificent transformation and change on this planet in good ways for our collective good. And the good of the planet, good of the whole world and all life on it. I know we can do this. I was born to be here for this, and I know you were too. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. So let's dream it into being. Let's make it possible. Let's make it happen through our love and attention and intention. And our card to grow on this week is balance. So once again, no throwing babies out with bathwater. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, this idea of staying balanced, staying grounded, staying in the present moment. When we wander off into the future or we wander off into the past, that's where anxiety and fear reside. We need to just stay right here, right now. Stay with the people we are in relationship with in this moment. Be with them right here, right now. Practice the present moment. Practice being there 100%. Practice being there in a lovely, present, grounded manner. And this balance card is just reminding us to just be peaceful, be centered, be grounded. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself so you can be there. This isn't about self-abuse. We don't get to a state of balance from hurting ourselves or pushing ourselves too hard. It really starts by listening within to what we need. And from that space of balance inside, our balance flows out into the world. It's like peace. When we find peace within, we can be a clearing for peace in the world. It's always an inside-out job. We have to remember that. We get to choose. We are the boss of us. We have amazing will, and that will allows us to do tremendous things. So this week, our card to grow on is stay balanced. Stay in the center of you. Come back to your heart. Come back to yourself. Come back home to you. And operate, interact with the world, respond to the world from that place. And miracles will happen. Okay. Let's close our eyes and gather ourselves up. Taking that nice deep breath. Put your hand on your heart if you feel like it. Sharing some love for yourself. Sending love out into the world. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I'm here with all of your children who've been listening into this reading this week. I ask that you be with us. As we move forward into this new world, as we move forward as players in this new world, participants, contributors, makers of this new world, just help us to stay in our hearts. Help us to stay present. Help us to stay in this moment as grounded and anchored and clean and clear as we can be, so that we respond to life in beautiful ways with grace and generosity, appropriateness, in right relationship to ourselves, to each other, to this planet and all life that we share here with. Thank you, Creator, for the opportunity to do this reading. Thank you for each and every one of you. I ask for blessings on all of us as we navigate this crazy world, this crazy, crazy world. And it's changing. Let's love the change and love the possibility that's coming towards us too. I'm going to send you lots of love and light, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.